Hey guys, this is Starcraft and I'm back to cast another game from the 2-on-2 Tuesdays ESL European Tournament. This will be from the third round, another game with our favorite team, cubert, the blue Terran, and his partner Aristeo, the orange Zerg, a top-notch team down there. They will be going against Scar, the purple Zerg, and his teammate will be kauP, the red Terran. kauP? kauP. How about kauP or kauP? Either way, they will be Team Banhammer. I believe that is what they are called. And this is on Warzone, the map. And this map is a difficult map to rush on because there is such a long distance and there is a single single choke point. The reason I threw the word early in there is because there are rubble blocking two other ramps on either side, but that does obviously take some time to beat down that rubble and break open that door. So this is more relatively difficult map to rush on 2v2s. But Aristeo and cubert are an exceptional exceptional at macro, especially Aristeo. As we've seen, this drone here is really annoying this SCV, forcing a second one off the line to chase it around. So annoying when you are a Terran player to have to bring SCVs all over the place to deal with harassing drones and probes. Is Aristeo actually is going to finish off that SCV and now run away? So nicely done there. And meanwhile, kauP is still unable to throw down his barracks, even getting blocked there from Aristeo. He is blocking the barracks. So he has significantly delayed kaup's barracks, and wow, that's just so frustrating. He still has not even lost the drone. So some exceptional scouting drone micro right there, as kauP will be throwing down two barracks at the front. Gonna try and wall this off, I assume, and get some early expansions. As normally what cubert and Aristeo will do is usually Aristeo goes for a fast expansion. Surprised he is not going to be doing that this time. He is getting a spawning pool, a fairly early spawning pool, and cubert actually is going to throw his supply depot down up here. I'm used to seeing cubert come up here and throw a bunker down right in the front middle of the ramp. So we will see if he does have an SCV on the way up there, and we'll most likely see a bunker front and center to try and deter any kind of early pressure. But kauP actually getting 3 barracks here at the front choke. So the top team will be playing defensively, but no expansions have been thrown down yet. Scar has quite a bit of minerals banked, so will he be trying to get that quick expansion or not? Aristeo now moving out with a few Zerglings, probably just going to send one of those to occupy the watchtower, send the other 3 to check out the front door and see what's going on. He will see there's a complete wall of barracks off here, so he will know that there's going to be quite a few Marines, as kauP is raising that supply depot just in time to deal with these Zerglings. So will we see Aristeo? Well, we definitely will see some banelings coming out, because that baneling nest is actually almost complete. So those banelings will be very effective against the mass Marines, although Scar does have a banelings nest of his own just now finishing. So it may come down to some baneling micro in the early engagements in this game, as this scouting SCV by kauP is getting caught out of position. It looks like he may actually save that. No, it does die, as just now the Zergling speed has finished for Aristeo. And no expansion still yet for him, or anybody for that matter. So interesting that he has changed up his playstyle in every single game. So we'll see what he tries to do here. Is he going to try and be aggressive early on? He's going to try and catch some of these Zerglings out of position. He has some banelings way back here. I guess just going to use them defensively. And wow, that is a juicy ball of Marines and Zerglings for those banelings if they can catch them out of position. So we'll see what Aristeo tries to do as far as that goes. The stim is about to finish for cubert, and that is obviously going to make a big difference with these Marauders now spread out, and perhaps they are worried about the backdoor rocks, seeing this army moving behind those trees. But here comes kaup's Marines. They're going to press the issue. Will Aristeo be able to surround them with his Zerglings and get the banelings up there? Aristeo has quite a few of Zerglings Here comes the Banelings though from Scar. Aristeo is sending Zerglings in one at a time to try and take those out, and here comes Aristeo's Banelings. He did blow up one of them on those Marines. These Marines with so little life left, the Zerglings will clean them up very quickly. And so that attack was definitely thwarted, not much damage being done there. And unfortunately for Scar, he lost a ton of Banelings that he made. As we do see the units lost, the top team is behind, but not by a huge margin. And now kauP, everybody's going to be looking to expand now after that initial engagement. Always a good idea. kauP will be building a command center over here, cubert as well, though neither Zerg player with an expansion just yet. So interesting role reversal there. And Scar has a lot of Zerglings, about an even number of Zerglings across the board. Maybe Scar has slightly more, so Aristeo will fall back to the comfort of these two Banelings. And can he block these Zerglings in? These Banelings are going to try and come in the backside, and will they be able to blow any of them up? The Zerglings trying to get away for Scar, and he is able to get those Banelings out of there. So close right there. But now kauP is going to be reinforcing with some Marauders, looking to try and snipe out those Banelings, as Scar is morphing in a bunch of Banelings of his own. So a lot of pressure from both teams. There's quite a bit of action right now. Meanwhile, cubert is just massing up a nice sized ball of Marines and Marauders and getting his expansion going. kauP just now transferring over quite a few SCVs to this expansion, and it looks like Scar is going to start hacking away at these backdoor rocks, and Aristeo and cubert obviously know about that, so they are going to move into position to deal with it. Is Aristeo going to actually bring his Zerglings around the outside to try and trap this army? No, they're going to bring everything over here, and just actually these Marines are going to ward back the Zerglings, but these Marauders will be unable to be hit by anything on the high ground. So these rocks are about to go down. And here comes the critical engagement as these Banelings are spread out pretty nicely from Aristeo, and Scar is gonna have to be very careful with that ball of Zerglings. And Aristeo has a ton of Zerglings of his own. And here we go, both armies playing cat and mouse. Cubert opting to stem up there, and he takes out a ton of Banelings from Scar. All the Banelings from Scar go down in that stem move from cubert, sniping out all the Banelings, and now they're gonna hightail it back to the safety of this wall of barracks. So that attack thwarted nicely by Aristeo and cubert. I'm still just shocked that Aristeo still does not have any expansion going down. This is just surprising me, as we see Scar even now getting his hatchery is just finishing. So Aristeo still playing on one base, and he just now is sending a drone out. We'll see if that one, it looks like, will try and build a hatchery in this center position. And cubert, I think, wants to push out here, perhaps to go after some of these backdoor rocks. This is pretty exposed for the top team. I mean, this is not the position you want to try and attack. There are mutas on the field for Aristeo. He does have 4 mutas out here that are wreaking some havoc on this army, but kauP is splitting up his Marines here, as you see him stimming up and trying to chase these Mutalisks down. But this Mutalist just shooting and then running really far, and shooting once and running really far again, and just really being annoying. They haven't killed like any units, I don't think, but they are really putting kauP and Scar in the defensive posture, as kauP is forced to run his units all over the place. Meanwhile, cubert is just massing up more and more Marauders and Marines, and it looks like he is even getting some more, as these Mutalisks are going to start returning home and perhaps double back to be even more annoying, as Aristeo is now transferring drones over to this middle expansion, perhaps a little bit early there, but nonetheless those will begin to kick in very soon, as so we see he is actually getting a flyer air attack upgrade. Usually a good idea when you plan on getting quite a few Mutalisks. So will Aristeo continue to pump Mutalisks? Most likely he will. He's going to start harassing this expansion again, trying to kill some drones here. He did kill a few drones. He's gonna actually take out this queen here. And one Mutalisk goes down while he kills that queen, and these Marines are forced to stem and run all the way across the map here really just need to leave a few of these Marines down at this corner, because it's so annoying to run those units back and forth, back and forth. Meanwhile, your opponent's teammate is just massing and massing up more armies. He's not forced to do any kind of micro. He's actually built 3 barracks to wall off this ramp over here and just pump more and more Marines. No upgrades yet though on the Marines. He does have weapons or weapons level 1 on the way, and vehicle weapons level 1 on the way for I thought he has does he have some siege tanks, or what is he getting that upgrade for? Maybe he plans to build, yeah, he does have a couple on the way. As we do see, are we going to see an engagement here as kauP has sieged up all his siege tanks? Aristeo Zerglings are going to run right into this, and these Zerglings, a ton of Zerglings just died right there, kind of unnecessarily because they weren't on the same page. Not something you see very often from Team Empire. And now Aristeo has got to play a bit of catch up. He does have quite a few mutas, so he's gonna have excuse me, forced to bring those over here to try and deal with these siege tanks. As Scar has a ton of Banelings, are going to be going right after this ball of Marines. The Banelings unfortunately doubling back right there. So many of them died. If those Banelings had turned up into those Marines, they could have done a ton of damage. Instead though, kauP, meanwhile, with 5 or 6 siege tanks out here, has totally taken out cubert's expansion. At the same time, cubert is going to be breaking the front of kauP, and Aristeo bringing all his mutalisks up top. So it looks like cubert is going to be content to lose his expansion as long as he can take out the production facilities of kauP. And kauP and Scar are in quite a bit of trouble. Scar has a few Zerglings over here. That's not going to be nearly enough to deal with this giant ball of Marines and Marauders that cubert has here. These mutalisks from Aristeo getting a little caught up position over the Marines from kauP, but here comes kauP to try and take out this ball of Marines and Marauders. The siege tanks sieging up way too late, and the Marines and Marauders just ripped through all of the siege tanks that were totally out of position, and that could be game. Yep, that is going to be game. They just GG out straight out of that. And that was a pretty intense game. It was fairly even, I would say, most of the way. Even towards the end there, a base race started, but there were a couple of critical engagements there that Aristeo and cubert came out on top of. The Banelings from Scar got totally caught out here, and they got doubled back. Miss micro. These Banelings doubled back up the ramp and just allowed the Marines and Marauders to rip through all of them. And then up here, trying desperately to defend when kauP brought his siege tanks back up here. They were not in siege mode. He should have tried to leapfrog them a little bit better, though. I am no expert, and I don't know if I could do it myself, but watching the replay, hey, maybe I can. That's what I'm here to do, right? Comment on the game. So thanks for watching. This is Irie StarCraft, and peace out.